In my last video, I shared with you how I make a six-figure income, and today I'm gonna share with you how I manage my money as an independent contractor. We go by many names, okay? Independent contractor, entrepreneur, self-employed, small business owner. We have the ability to create and do whatever we want, but we have the added responsibility of managing our own money. There are times where we won't get paid for months. There are times where we have to track down money that we are owed, and we have to save up for our taxes as well as retirement, all by ourselves. The idea of being our own boss and making our own hours can make all of that worth it. And I feel like it is worth it to me. But if you don't take those added steps of being responsible with your money, you can be in a whole lot of trouble. I'm Ajadang, and thank you so much for joining me on my channel. Again, we're gonna be talking about how I manage my money. This video was inspired by today's sponsor, Found. A little bit more on them later, but let's just jump into this video. The very first thing you need to do, and basically the first place to start when managing your money, is you need to build a budget. Every single month, you need to know what your expenses are, how much money is going out, and what your income is, how much money you're bringing in. Consistency as an independent contractor is something that we dream of, okay? We would love a consistent paycheck. We would love consistent work, but that isn't always the case, and we have to be prepared for that financially. Your monthly expenses will most likely not change as drastically as our income does, so that's gonna be a little bit easier for you to figure out. Now for your income, the reason why that's trickier is because, as I said, you don't get paid consistently every month, and you don't get paid the same amount every month. So I would recommend either taking the lowest income that you've had over the past few months, or maybe averaging out your income over the past few months and using that as the base of your budget. Because if you use your most successful month, if you use the month where you make $10,000 but you normally only earn maybe $4,000, if you base your budget off of $10,000, you are going to be in the red significantly on those months where you don't hit that consistently. Versus if you normally make $4,000 and base your budget off of $4,000, anything extra, that extra $6,000 that you may make one month can go to anything. Base your budget on those average months to make sure that your expenses are covered, to make sure that you can keep a roof over your head, your insurances are covered, your minimum debts are covered, you can eat, you can drive a car to and from work, make sure all those expenses are covered. And again, anything you earn above that can go towards your financial goals. I am going to link my budgeting video, how to budget for beginners, in the cards. I know it's a little dated. I know I have to do an updated one, but that is a good place to start if you have not started a budget before. Now, the next thing you have to do is build an emergency fund. This is important. I cannot stress how scary it is to not get paid on time. I've had my fair share of brands who just wouldn't pay me. In fact, if you remember, there was a brand that took 2 years to pay me, and I'm pretty sure they only paid me because I called them out on social media. But if I had not have done that, I'm pretty sure to this day I would not have gotten paid. As much as it's great to kind of like romanticize this work and believe that brands are trustworthy and will pay you on time, you have to prepare for the worst. An emergency fund is at least 3 months of expenses. So that's why we have to do our budget, because we need to know how much to save for expenses, at least 3 months, put into a high yield savings account. But I have found, as a self-employed person, 3 months just doesn't cut it, and you have to save for at least, I would say, 5 months. My emergency fund currently has 6 months of expenses in it. So again, step one is to figure out your expenses for your monthly budget. And then once you figure out your expenses, then step two is then you build your emergency fund, saving up 3 to 6 months of your expenses and put that in a high yield savings account for emergencies only. The third way to manage your money as a self-employed person is to save for taxes. In the early years of my career, I owed the government so much money because I did not put aside any part of my paycheck and I wouldn't even track my income. So I didn't even know how much I owed the government. I was also $200,000 in debt at this time. So just in general, I was not very good at managing my money until fairly recently. Even more scary than not getting paid is owing the government money, because they will get their money no matter what, honey. So do yourself a favor, save yourself the stress, and start putting aside money for taxes this coming paycheck. The amount that you have to put aside for taxes really depends on your tax bracket. Go to last year's tax return and kind of just see what tax bracket you're in, and that's the percentage you need to put aside in, again, a high yield savings account for taxes. Even though we have the benefit of claiming tax write-offs, which is one of the huge beauties of being an independent contractor, I would still personally save kind of the max amount of the percentage you have to save for taxes, just to put aside money. Because any money you have left over from your kind of like tax savings account after your tax refunds and all the goodies that are taken out, that can either go to retirement account or that can go towards other financial goals. I think this year I had about $15,000 left over that I didn't have to pay towards taxes, and I put that in my SEP, which we'll talk about a little bit later, which is a self-employed pension. And then I also used that to go to Tokyo. I don't think it hurts to have a little extra money saved, and honestly, you just cannot be overly prepared for taxes. There is no such thing. Taxes can feel scary because they are, and they can seem very complicated. But fortunately, there is an awesome solution for this if you need some help. Found is a banking app that helps self-employed people like you and me manage our money all in one place. They have a ton of features that are made specifically for self-employed people. So whether you are a small business owner, content creator, a side hustler, any type of like solo entrepreneur, this is the app for you. One of my favorite features from Found is their tax saving tool. As you can tell, I've really been like traumatized from not saving for taxes earlier in my career. This tool automatically puts aside an estimated amount of money for your taxes when you get paid. Found can also help you find tax write-offs, which is really important come tax season. They also offer unlimited invoicing, contractor management, which includes free contractor payments and auto-filled contractor tax forms. There are no hidden fees and you get so much for free with Found. So check out the link and use my code AJA, AJA, and get a $50 bonus after spending $500 on your Found app within the first 30 days of account creation. Terms do apply, but you can sign up for free in just a few minutes. We have a lot of freedom as contractors, but we just have to work a little bit harder with our money because of it. If you want to do things the easy way, check out the Found app using the link in my description box below. Now, the fourth way I manage my money as an independent contractor is I have to put aside money for retirement. Unlike our 9-to-5 brothers and sisters, we do not have the benefit of an employer-sponsored 401k. So we are responsible for saving up retirement 100% by ourselves. It seems very scary and intimidating, but once you set up an account, it is actually quite simple. If you are self-employed, there are a few retirement options out there for us, including solo 401ks, Roth IRAs, or SEPs. But I did recently post a video about how to open a Roth IRA / backdoor Roth. That was actually the very first time I opened up a Roth all by myself, and I actually did it for Brian. That was the example I used, and I have to say it was very easy. And now that I have already set it up, all I have to do now is transfer money from his account into his Roth, and he's set up for retirement now. So easy. Now, how much you have to save really depends on where you are financially and obviously your age. I would consider saving between 10 and 15% of your paycheck. If you are older like me, you should increase that because we have less time for our money to sit in the market before retirement. Those are the ways I manage my money as a self-employed person, and tips on how to manage your money as an independent contractor. I hope that this video helps you understand the things that you need to look out for and you have to save for on your own if you're just starting out. But I also don't want to scare you away from being an independent contractor, because There is so much freedom to it. We have the ability to honestly do whatever we want. But again, we just have to work a little bit harder for our money. I'm Ajadang. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you have any clarifying questions or want to mention something that I maybe didn't bring up, please let us know in the comments and I will try to answer any questions you have there as well. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.